Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make 2025 the best year yet, you need to start asking yourself the right questions. And I do this every single year, and my life has gotten exponentially better every single year since I've been doing this since 2018. It's gonna be a big year, guys. I want you to succeed. I want you to have just a life-changing year. And if you do the right planning, if you ask yourself the right questions, and you just challenge yourself to get better, 1% better every single day, you're gonna have an amazing year. So I wrote down these questions that I asked myself, and I wanna share them with you. And why is it important? Well, because the right questions give you clarity, they give you direction, and they give you a game plan. And that's what I really wanna talk to you guys about. Like in this video, I'm sharing 5 very powerful questions that you're gonna set yourself up for success in 2025. So grab your little notebook, take out your notepad on your phone or whatever it is, and write these down, and then make sure that you absolutely answer them honestly. Question number 1, what did you learn from 2024? Now, you can't move forward without reflecting on the past, right? Like those that don't know your past are doomed to repeat it. It's really important that you study not just history, but your own history, and you don't have limiting beliefs saying, well, my mistakes in 2024 means my mistakes in 2025. That's not a reality. The reality is the more positive affirmation statement, instead of a limiting belief statement, is I won't make the same mistakes that I made in 2024 and 2025 because now I'm more experienced. Right? Even just 1 year gained us more experience. So here's the thing. You can't move forward without reflecting on the past. And it's not just the wins. More importantly, it's the losses. The losses are the tuition payments. The failures are the ones that actually get you to grow. And I say this all the time, like in jiu-jitsu, there is no failing in jiu-jitsu. There's no losing in jiu-jitsu. It is you either win or you learn. Really, if you take that on as like a core belief that there is no such thing as failure, it's just learning, it's just a tuition payment to get you to the next level, man, you are going to just skyrocket growth. And not only that, but it also challenges your own personal belief in yourself and the way that you see yourself, your own self-esteem. What worked, what didn't work, and then what patterns do I need to break? And we all have patterns. We all have habits that are not giving us a positive return on investment. So I challenge you to look at those things and to see, where you've kind of done better, what decisions you made that maybe didn't have the best positive outcomes, how you fell short, and what you can do, to not do those things in 2025. For me, 2024 was a record-breaking year. It really, really was. The more that I have, and we had a lot of little missteps. And as I go forward, I have less and less big mistakes or big failures or tuition payments because I've learned from the prior year. So, it's like Thomas Edison said, I really, I didn't really fail. I just, I figured out 10,000 ways to not, make a light bulb. And over a period of time, it's much easier to be successful because you have that much more experience. I'm doubling down on my planning. I'm doubling down on my morning routine. I'm doubling down on, and let me explain this. Last year, it was like I got my entire team on front and we turned a 7-figure company into an 8-figure company. And we just got online, got the guns up, and we just fully assaulted through. Well, what got us to an 8-figure company, and we had 120% growth last year. In the last 3 years, we've had 120% growth. What got us there last year is not going to get us there in 2025. So in 2025, we have this theme of scaling through efficiency. So making sure the departments are hyper-focused and mastering the departments, making sure that every single person's job placement and they have all the tools they need to be successful in 2025 and just mastering their lane, and then coming together and really figuring out how to be the best team possible to where we're supporting each other while mastering our own lane. So for me, that just means how can I become the very best leader, the CEO person? I make this joke that my job is a huge elephant that is ice skating, juggling personalities to get them to all work. And so that's the vision that I have of me on ice skates as a big elephant with a pink little, pink little tutu on and a purple hat with a thing around it, and I'm juggling a team. And it's difficult, but nonetheless, that's what I learned from 2024. And so moving into 2025, I'm like, okay, team, you're going to master our lanes. We are going to be a just master of our departments so that we can have another over 120% growth, and we're going to do it. And that's exciting. So for you, what did you learn in 2024? And write that stuff down, and then write down, how am I going to improve on the things that I learned in 2024? Question number 2, who do I want to become in 2025? So think about the end of the year. Think about that December 31st date. You've got the New Year's coming up. It's kind of about to be 2026. Who are you? What have you done? If you became 1% better every single day, that means you're 37% better by the end of the year. Visualize the very best version of yourself. What are their habits? What are their characteristics? What are their core values? And then all you have to do is start thinking like that person today. Start having the habits. So if the guy at the end of 2025 is super disciplined, he wakes up early, he has his get shit done list that he prepared the night before. Maybe he does a cold plunge. Maybe he does a cold shower. Maybe he does some prayer time, meditation time. It doesn't matter what it is. What is the habits that the very best version of yourself at the end of 2025 has? What is he doing? Visualize what that person is a year from now. How does he act? How does he think? How does he react? What does he do differently that you do right now? I think about that for myself, and I think for me, it's even more along the lines of time is such a valuable commodity that my time is more efficiently, and I gotta say, my time is very efficiently spent, but as you get older, you realize that how much time you really don't have. Time is just so important. In my mind, at the end of the year, I am the most efficient with my time. I'm buying my time back. I'm only working in my zone of genius, and I'm pretty close there now, but even more so. So that even more so to where I've scaled through efficiency to where now I have more time for my family, I have more time for my kids, and there's less guesswork. You know, I've established free days in my schedule to where, you know, even during the week, I've got a free day to where I don't have to work. I don't have to worry about my team. I can, you know, take my wife and my kids out and go do something. And so that's what I'm thinking, like, hey, how do I set that up? What is the kind of person what are the habits and what is the teamwork? What's the communication styles that I need to be able to make that happen? If you are wanting to be a disciplined, confident leader, you need to start acting like one today. This just goes back to those habits. Instead of waiting for some perfect moment, some stars to align, or like, what was it, January 25th, the planets to align and they're right at back, like that's all, you know, nonsense. Like, I'm going to start when this happens, when I finish this thing or I get this promotion. No, you start today. One of the biggest things I always hear is the diet starts Monday. No, motherfucker, the diet starts today. Everything starts today. Life is happening now. So again, who do you want to become in 2025? Question number 3, what habits will make or break my success? This is a really good one. A lot of people are like, how do you stay motivated? Man, I can tell, I hate that word motivation. It's like a crack. It's a drug. Motivation is nothing more than it's just a drug. It gives you a bump, feel like you're on the top of the world, and then you come crashing down. One of the analogies that I love to share is I've had the fortunate to talk to like some of the most world-class athletes, some of gold medalists from the Olympics, but nonetheless, I've always asked them like what their mindset was, you know, how their training process was. You know, did they visualize themselves? Did they know they were going to win a gold medal? They all did. They all visualized them standing on the podium receiving the gold medal. One guy, Kevin, who was a multiple-time world champion in Muay Thai, he actually photoshopped the world belt on his belt, and he would have that picture printed out, and he just visualized it. What I talked about then was, were you always motivated to train? Did you only train when you were motivated? And they were like, what, are you kidding me? Absolutely not. That's the most ridiculous thing ever. They trained regardless of their feelings, and motivation is nothing but a feeling. It's a discipline. So no matter how they felt, they got up and they went and trained, because that's how champions are built. So you got to ask yourself, are you a champion? Do you want to be successful? Well, it has nothing to do with how you're feeling, what wind's blowing your emotions that day. It's not about motivation. It's about a habit of doing the things that you need to do. Listen to me when I talk about this habit thing, man. Start small. Start with one small habit, because you have negative habits and you have positive habits. You need to analyze what are the negative habits that's causing you to, maybe it's daily energy drinks, and we can get into finances with that. It's nicotine, alcohol, whatever it may be. But I always look at the habits with a return on investment. What habit is this? Is this giving me a positive return on investment, a positive ROI? Is it a negative return on investment? And I love the one of like the guy talking about he was buying Starbucks daily. Every day he would buy a coffee on his way to work or whatever. And, I don't know what it costs now, $5, $7. But he did it every single day. And one day it clicked. He said he stopped doing that and he started buying Starbucks stock every single day. And the ROI on that year after year was nuts. And it was the same money that he was spending, but he would just invest that money. And so he took the negative habit into a positive habit. Again, it's not about motivation. It's not about feelings. It is about the positive habits that you create. Again, 1% better every single day at the end of the year makes you 37 times better by the end of the year. But if you get 1% worse, you're going to spiral. You're going to be 37% worse. And guys, now we are becoming, the internet, politics, things are becoming, financial markets becoming more authentic than they ever have. I don't care where you stand politically. We are about to have the biggest change of wealth, the best change in economy that we've seen in a very, very long time. And if you don't capitalize on that through your habits, you are missing out on one of the greatest opportunities that you will ever see in your life. I truly believe that. So get your shit together. Get your habits in order. So anyways, going back to this, write down one habit that you need to start. One positive habit that helps you become the best version of yourself by the end of 2025. Write that habit down and start one now, and then find one bad habit and start killing it. Now, again, the gravitational pull of habits. I want you to understand this. For instance, drinking. So here's the gravitational pull. Here's drinking. Day 1, gravitational pull is very, very hard. Day 2, it's very, very hard. Okay, it's still there. But once you get to day 30, it's still kind of hard. It's still there, but it's not as hard as day 1. When you get to 365 days by the end of the year, it's a totally different story. Habits form here. That's why they always say 28 days, 30 days, something like that to break a habit or make a habit. So challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. One small habit, one bad habit, and getting rid of one. So like for me, a big game changer in 2024 was not just phoning in my sleep. I know I talk about sleep a lot, but I got busy and I kind of just phoned it in, and I developed a really bad sleep routine. Last year, I got back on my blue light glasses. I got back on my peak sleep from BPN, which they just come out with gummies now. And then I got back on my wind down routine of no phone, electronics, reading a book, whatever it may be, so I can kind of down regulate, because my mind is just racing on all the things that I want to do and all I want to accomplish. I have lots of goals in this brain of mine. And then all of a sudden, on my aura, my REM's up, my deep sleep's up, and my sleep is more efficient, right? I'm not having to sleep as long to get the restorative sleep that I want. So that's, for me, that was just a big game changer for me, was just managing my sleep so that I can be more effective throughout the day. Question number 4, you need to ask yourself, who am I surrounding myself with? I've said this for years. Your network is your net worth. Your environment determines your success. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So you have to ask yourself, if you're hanging out with 5 fat guys, I'm betting you're not so fit. If you're hanging around with 5 broke guys, you're probably having some money problems. Look at the people around you. What are the conversations being had? What are the habits that they have? What's their lifestyle? And does it align with yours? Does it align with the goals that you want to have? Are they pushing you forward? Or are they holding you back? My circle of friends is uncomfortable. Even around here, my employees is uncomfortable, because we're constantly talking about growth. We're constantly talking about finances. We're constantly talking about how you're going to become better. So it is uncomfortable. Nobody can just sit back and relax, right? It's imperative that we, as a society or your group of friends, are looking forward. How can we become 1% better? And if you're surrounded with a bunch of losers, well, then you're going to be a loser. Now, your friends can come with you, or they can get left behind. So in 2025, you need to audit your circle. Do the people that you're surrounding yourself, are they going to help you get to where you need to be? And I don't mean like a handout. I mean just by influence. So again, if you want to be the fat dad talking about some sports team on Saturday and Sunday, you know, in your backyard drinking a Bud Light, so be it. But don't want the things that the guy that's, you know, hanging out with the 5 guys that are training on the weekend or doing jiu-jitsu together, figuring out, you know, they're doing, you know, talking about crypto and talking about stocks and talking about, you know, life insurance policies and how they're doing what with real estate and how they're getting a rental property. These are the conversations that are being had in my circle. I challenge you to audit your circle because, again, you are the sum of the five people that you spend the most time with. Question 5, what is my non-negotiable goal for 2025? This whole thing that new year, new you, and, you know, I'm going to make a New Year's resolutions. The reality is, this very sad reality is, most of these people set this like New Year's resolution. They have a goal, but they create no plan. And as my wife says, a goal without a plan is just a wish. If you're going to set a plan, pick one that's absolutely non-negotiable to how it's going to change your life. And then what you need to do is go back to the video that I did like 4 weeks ago about planning for 2025 and watch that planning process of how I broke down planning, how I've built 2 8-figure companies and a 7-figure company. I literally took what I learned in special operations. This is the end that's desired goal. This is the objective. This is where I want to be. Okay. And I reverse engineered to where I was. And then I created the phase lines of what I needed to do to get to where I needed to be. That's it. So make it non-negotiable. Pick one that's like, at the end of 2025, I'm going to have X in the bank account. I'm going to have this much weight off my body. I'm going to have this kind of marriage with my wife. I'm going to invest X amount of dollars, whatever it may be for you. Set the desired end state, reverse engineer how you're going to get there. It is simple as that. And then you do not negotiate. Like, there is no negotiation with your friends or your wife or whatever. If your friends and your wife respect you and are true friends and your true spouse, then they will be supportive of that goal, just like I am supportive of my wife's 2025 goals. And we work with each other on how to get there. I want you guys to drop your number one goal in the comments because I want to hear it. I want to see what these goals are for 2025. If you've already established one, put it there. Put your goal in the comments. And then not only that, a little bonus question is how you're going to achieve it. Serious bonus question, because I get this a lot. What do I do when things get hard? Biggest reason people fail is they quit when it gets hard. They don't have enough motivation. They run out of time, whatever it may be, whatever the limiting belief is in your head, they just check out and they go for a couple weeks. Then all of a sudden life throws them a curveball and then they just kind of absolutely fail. This is where the grit comes into play. This is when your purpose and your why. So not only do you need to have a goal, but you need to have the reasons why you're achieving that goal. So for instance, I want to look good naked. Cool. Looking good naked is great. Everybody wants to look good naked, but why do you want to look good naked? Because I don't want to look good naked. Tell you what, when it's 5 o'clock in the morning and it's super hot outside or super cold outside, it's going to be hard to get out of that bed, leaving your smoking hot wife in the bed next to you and those warm covers to go do burpees in the garage because you want to look good naked. But if it's because I want to be, as a father, I want to be a role model to my son. I want to set the example for my family and my wife, and I don't want to die of heart disease and obesity and leave them holding the bag and not be there to lead them and lead my grandkids and my great-grandkids into the future and be this I have goals of the person that I want to be for my family. Well, that's bigger than me. That's going to get me out of bed in the morning. So you have to figure out what your why is, because motivation is going to run out. And when that does run out, what is the plan? Develop this routine. And no matter what it is, maybe you need a mentor, maybe you need to join the Agoge. I don't know, for you, whatever it is for you, but figure out what that system that you're going to have to develop to push through when you're not motivated, when things get complicated. So for me, again, when I don't feel like training, I don't feel like making a video, I don't feel like having a meeting, I don't feel like doing nothing, I remember myself, why am I doing what am I doing? Because I want to build something for my family. I didn't have anything growing up. I didn't come from anything. I'm the person that changes everything from here on out. From once I'm gone, it will be me in my name that was the one that took a impoverished family and changed it forever. That's my decision. And the benefits of what I'm doing, the benefits of what I'm building, I won't even get to see all of it. My kids will, and my kids' kids will. And that's why it doesn't really matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how I'm going, how the wind's blowing that day, what my motivation level is. I get up and I execute, because what I'm building is so important. So guys, here's the deal. What did you learn from 2024? Who do you want to become in 2025? What habits will make or break your success? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What is my non-negotiable goal for 2025? And then what will you do when things get hard? Write these things down. Drop your number one goal in 2025 in the comments. I want to see. And then bonus, how are you going to get there? And if this video has helped you, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this with a friend because, matter of fact, I take that back. Share it with your top 5 friends. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.